mental calisthenics. Like doing physics or studying physics is literally doing mental calisthenics. It's akin to doing calisthenics. Doing calisthenics is a very, very tough feat, and so is doing physics. Studying physics establishes a very, very strong neural network. I remember Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about mathematics. I think the whole conversation was about why I studied mathematics in high school. So he was giving a reason that the very act of studying mathematics whilst you were in high school, if I remember correctly, establishes a neural network that enables you to solve certain kinds of problems in real life. So the same applies for physics. Remember, mathematics is the language of physics. The act of studying itself too establishes a neural network or a wiring inside your brain that enables you to solve certain kinds of difficult problems that have nothing to do with physics altogether. So just like one can use calisthenics as a way of building muscle fibers, one can also use physics as a way of building mental fibers. Not literal mental fibers, but neural networks, strong neural networks that make one possess a very, very powerful brain in terms of thinking capacity, in terms of problem solving capacity. So one of the most important reasons why one should study physics, including mathematics, is because it gives you a very, very strong neural network, a very, very strong mental muscle fiber in the end that enables you to tackle real world problems that have nothing to do with physics whatsoever. Now, reason number two, carry over. Again, that's why I chose the example of calisthenics. Just like calisthenics, physics has a carryover to other disciplines. If you take calisthenics, if you practice it really well, you'll be able to carry the skills gained or carry the strength gained into other sporting fields, like for example tennis or gymnastics, which is like the immediate of calisthenics. Like it's right in the vicinity of calisthenics. It's almost like the way physics and mathematics are. Like if you study physics, it is way easier for you to study mathematics, unlike if you had studied a different subject altogether. So studying physics enables you to go into other fields. It has like an immediate carryover, but this doesn't apply to all fields. This applies mostly to science-related field. Say you want to be a chemist, you want to be a biologist, or biophysicist, or anything in the science area or the engineering too, and the mathematics, basically STEM in general. It enables you to go into those fields very, very easily. Like there's a very, very, we would call it maybe a smooth flow. One can easily flow into those areas. Now, if you look at the Manhattan Project, there were mathematicians as well as physicists right in there in a project where they were trying to create a bomb. I won't go into the details. A lot of activities behind the Manhattan Project required a strong physics backbone. Not that physics was a prerequisite, but it required a very, very strong physics backbone. A lot of the scientists that were involved in that project had a strong background of physics. So that carryover, which you'd rarely get from other fields, that carryover is invaluable. Another thing, if you look at Elon Musk, who wouldn't tell him as a physicist, he's into technology. But his background of physics helps him to a certain degree in a lot of activities he'll be doing in those businesses like SpaceX. Even in areas like automotive technology, say you want to be a mechanic or an auto electrician, a knowledge of circuit diagrams is required in those fields. Now, if you're a person who has studied physics before, like I said, the carryover is just smooth, it's just flawless. It's way easier for you to comprehend or grasp those concepts and obtain a successful career, simply because of the strong carryover physics possesses. Reason number three is joy. But this mostly applies to people who are very, very curious about physics. Or I would go on to say people who are actually called for physics. Some would say people who are passionate about physics, but I love using the term calling. To me, it appeals better. Like, passionate is too broad. Now, this mostly applies to a person who is called for physics or who is very, very curious in relation to physics. studying physics brings this immense amount of joy. Not during the study itself. No, this doesn't apply always, like during the study. But when you hit that point where you understand a certain concept that has been bugging you for months or years, or maybe days or hours, the joy is unexplainable. Like the kick you get. I remember Feynman mentioned something about this. And Robert Greene, I remember too, he mentioned something about this. The joy you get, the kick you get is so amazing. Like even Solomon mentions the importance of joy in your work. If you go and read Ecclesiastes, he mentions the importance of joy. Like it's really, really, really important that one enjoys what he's doing. So the joy from studying physics. I know you can get joy from studying chemistry too. You can get joy from studying law, but this, like I said, applies to a person who's curious about physics or who is deeply passionate, if you will, or who is called for physics. The joy you experience when studying physics is unparalleled. Now, this I say because I myself study physics, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the joy you get when you get to solve problems that you're bugging you, like mostly when you get to understand, not literally solve a problem, like you're given a problem set or a question set for a certain test or a homework, no, but when you're trying to understand a certain concept in physics or a certain notion or idea in physics, and it's been bugging you for months and weeks or years, it happens, or years, and then you finally understand it. The joy you get, the kick you get, I know a lot of people agree with me on this point. It's unparalleled. It can't be compared to anything. Maybe some would compare it to something, but for me, it can't be compared to anything. Like it exists in its own realm, if you will. The joy is unexplainable. It's so nice. So there you go, guys. These are some of the 3 reasons. There are a lot of reasons one should study physics, but for me, these are some of the 3 important reasons one should study physics. My name is Knox Mbata. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you for giving me your time, your attention. Please leave a like, subscribe, and a comment if you like the video. It grows the channel. And stay posted for another video. Thank you.